And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that extended break because we have returned here with the lower bracket finals. We have 3 players left, one of each race. We have Spirit waiting in the grand finals, and here we are to determine who is going to face him.
Indeed, as I was checking if the stream is definitely live and well, and we are already loaded into our first map, which will be this time Neo-Humanity LE. And we are looking at our first player, the Red Protoss, representing Psystorm Gaming, and Poland. It is Gerald.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Neo-Humanity, we have the Polish Zerg player representing Team Liquid. It is Elazer.
Also, everybody, shout out to Kashim. You see the guy in the chat? It's called Kashim93. He's the admin of this event. Okay? He's doing the thankless job of adminning tournaments. So, big shout out to him because he's involved in like most events in the scene. Like, usually Kashim is involved somewhere. Like, the Africa stuff, he was there. Like, there's a lot of events that he's involved in, and people don't even have an idea.
Yeah, we mentioned it earlier, but Kashim is, of course, a big part of not just the Polish community, but of StarCraft itself. So a massive shout to Kashim. Thank you so much for allowing this event to be a thing, to actually come to fruition and to run smoothly as well. So
Also,
much love.
Not only is he an admin, he's also a Wikipedia editor, as well as a Gulag editor. And he's updating the scores live for every tournament that he's possibly available for. Including on his phone.
Yes, he does put in a lot of work. Meanwhile, before it's over, you have 20 seconds, I think. You have like 20 or so seconds to place your bets in the chat. Predictions are open, so you can use this moment here to determine who you think is going to advance onto the grand finals. Is it going to be our Zerg or is it going to be our Protoss?
Yeah,
Decide.
and we'll see who it will be as... I'm curious what Gerald is gonna show us in PvZ, because in the PvPs we've seen, Gerald has been crazy today. He's been non-stop aggression all the time, proxy, not proxy, DTs, every game there were DTs. But how is he gonna play PvZ?
Yeah, and we see how aggressive he is. It is going to be a Twilight Council opener from Gerald, so not too standard here. We'll see if he does pull out a gas. We'll see if he goes for a Glaive Adepts or something like a DT opener, which is a very much so a thing here in a PvZ. Elazer on the other side goes for a Hatch Gas pool and is going for his third base at the center location.
Oh, very interesting location. I mean, I've seen it before, but I always find it very interesting when Zergs decide to go for the center base. I mean, definitely makes it a nice reinforcement point, but it's also very much forward.
It is a very aggressive base to take. Meanwhile, the gases have not been pulled out. Twilight Council is done. This is looking like a Dark Shrine. We'll see how committed Geralt is going to be with this. We'll see when he does decide to throw it down. If he does go for Glaives, then this is going to be a very committed variation just because we have a lot of gas to work with. Meanwhile, across the map, he's going to be focusing on his Adeptoras. Is going to be trying to shade on past, trying to get a read on what's going on as he is going to catch a couple of drones.
Very nice there, but it looks like the Queens will fend off the Adepts for the time being. And they will shade out, but not before seeing a lot around this base.
Ooh, they actually want some more economic damage. Looks like 4 or 5 drones are going to be going down. Can we get a 6th worker? It's going to be close, and no, we do not. But 5 drones is still a good amount of damage. Meanwhile, it was that Dark Shrine opener, as we suspected. And this can kind of go into a couple of different things here. DTs, they shouldn't really do too much damage. Elazer should be able to determine what's going on in time. But what's dangerous about this build is, of course, there's the follow-up, which is the Archon Drop Harass, which can also get quite a lot of damage done.
I would say I still feel weird seeing Archon drops because they used to be like the most meta thing, and then they pretty much completely disappeared, and it looks like now every now and then they are making a reappearance, so I guess we'll see how this one may work.
Oh, this is actually very different. So I don't know if you saw, but the Twilight Council was delayed. Sorry, the Dark Shrine was delayed quite a lot. We have 2 more gateways thrown down. We have a Twilight Council. We were working on Charge, but actually Charge gets cancelled.
Oh, I'm a little worried about Geralt. He seems to be changing his mind a lot, but But now we are getting the charge after all. Just, you know, not at the timing that we thought we would.
Yeah, this isn't good for Gerald. He restarted it because his third base got cancelled, so it looks like he's being forced into a two-base all-in, which wasn't his initial plan. Across the map, the DTs have arrived, but Spores are already in position. DTs are having a hard time finding damage.
Yeah, and look how many queens Elazer has as well. So those queens will be able to fend off this warp breeze, and there will be not many areas where it can be safe. Oh, even a link gets in as well.
Yeah, I mean, we're link flooding across the map. Fun fact, this is a slow link flood. Elazer didn't get link speed. I think it's a mistake. He has gas for it. He could have made link speed, but he decided not to. I don't think that was intentional, but slow links are here across the map. They get us around. They will be forcing a cancel on this base.
I mean, you say that, but the slow links clearly are working, as they were able to deny that third base. They were able to get into the natural as well, so definitely a nice bit of damage, although maybe Elazer was expecting a little bit more.
Yeah, he realizes now that he didn't have link speed, so he restarts it. So it's now on the way, thankfully, but very late link speed. So you know what? Geralt may have been indecisive with his charge, but I mean, Elazer didn't have link speed, so you know it's a bit of a give and take. Geralt is able to hold on. He is able to defend. Meanwhile, he canceled charge again. By the way, yeah.
Okay then. Oh, we get a blink. Never mind. We didn't want charge.
Yeah, we're working on Blink instead. We have a Rodix Bay on the way, so Geralt is trying to transition out of this. It has been very chaotic for our Protoss player. He's still trying to get his third base up and running. I mean, this third is very delayed. This is a very late third base. These Archons have a lot of work to do. We'll see if they can pick up some Overlords. We'll see if they can get some economic damage done.
But you know what they say, Light? The third time's the charm. And the third has been down for 2 times since.
Drop is going to get denied into the natural. So again, really solid defense here from Elazer. We can see he's just droning up, saturating his bases, taking a fourth base behind this, taking advantage of the center Rich Vespian Gas Geyser as well. And he's working towards a Ling Bane Roach army. Oh boy, and because of the central base, because of the creep spread, things are going to snowball out of control quite quickly.
Yeah, and as we noticed before, like, Elazer had that very front base, and that means that creep spread is already halfway across the map. It's already there, the queens are already working to get into the bases of Gerald, and the reinforcements for Elazer will be really fast.
Yeah, Elazer is basically going for a big 3-base, almost all-in, basically 3-base saturation. It's around 66 workers. Because of the Rich Vespian Gas Geyser, we can cut some drones, and we can be a little bit greedier as well. The Archon drop is going to pull back some of the army, so Geralt is doing a good job at buying himself some time. But is it going to be enough, as the first Nova is going to get wasted? We have another Disruptor that is going to be revealed. Elazer, upon seeing the Disruptors, he's droning.
Yeah, he will come back later, but really nice dodges from Elazer, as well as he didn't lose a single link to these Novas, and they didn't do any damage, but can they do some in a drop?
Yeah, they're going to be taking down some of these tumors, which is definitely nice. Again, upon seeing all these Disruptors, Elazer, he's backing off. He's droning up a little bit more, just saturating his bases, working on a later timing instead. A little bit of a miss rally. A couple of drones are going to be sent into their deaths, but for the most part, Elazer is getting ready here for a more mid-game oriented push here, and Geralt is at least holding on.
Oh, that queen is so low, but I don't think he's gonna die, as Gerald is trying to fish for something with these Novas, but he's not really able to deal much damage other than deny the creep.
Yeah, he does deny that creep. At the same time, Elazer goes for a run by here on the left-hand side, is looking to force a cancel on the fourth base. With these added roaches, it looks like he should force a cancel.
Ooh, this is actually a kill, not a cancel on that base, and very nicely done by Elazer. This is not the end, as the other part of the army is now in the natural.
Yeah, exactly. The Disruptor goes down. The wall is not a wall. The roaches are getting into the natural base. We have Links going into the main. We have another army here at the third base as well. Elazer, he's just pulling Geralt apart right now. Probes are falling. Eventually, this will be cleaned up, but damage is being done.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, it will be cleaned up eventually, but by that time, like, the economy of Geralt will be so hurt. Like, so many probes have fallen down. 14 killed in total, and he's now so much behind.
Yeah, but his army's still looking pretty terrifying. It has a laser poke the bear. Did he throw away too much? Because Gerald can go for a big counterattack. Looking at his army, he has 4 disruptors. He has an immortal, 3 archons. Like, it's a pretty beefy army. There's potential here in the counterattack for Gerald if he decides to go for it. But no, he's more concerned with establishing the center base instead.
That's a very risky base, considering how close the creep spread of Elazer is, and this army is definitely threatening all the time. The war priest is trying to find something, but I don't think it can really find an opening.
Yeah, we do see the disruptors looking for a connection. At the same time, Elazer just maintaining control of his side of the map, taking another base, and he has remaxed. There was a window where he was vulnerable after he threw away so many roaches, but Elazer has been able to rebuild his army. He's now in a pretty dominating position. He's getting ready to once again attack from multiple angles at once. We'll see how well Gerald can defend.
Yeah, and it looks like the theme of the day for Elazer is those banelings, and he has morphed quite a lot of them. This small part of roaches is distracting the army of Gerald. At the same time, the main army of Elazer is now rolling into the third base.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of good disruptor shots going off on the right-hand side, but here comes the main army of Elazer. The Banelings are rolling on in. They bust through the initial pylon. The Banelings can't quite get past the Stalkers.
Yeah, they're rolling straight into the Stalkers, but Stalkers don't really care about Banelings, so instead they will try to go for the army, and they may be able to get some of it?
Yeah, we're getting some decent connections here. We're forcing a big spread out of Gerald as well. It looks like Gerald should be able to clean this up, though. The spread was quite good in the end, but he did lose a lot of his disruptors.
Yeah, I mean, the main part is that most of Gerald's army is those Stalkers, and Stalkers don't really care about Banelings, so them rolling straight into the army didn't actually do as much damage as Elazer hoped for. But there is round 2.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like, Gerald, he traded well. Like, a lot of his army did survive that attack, that assault. But Elazer, he just remaxes. Like, he's on 81 workers. He has almost full saturation here on 4 bases. Like, he can remax, he can rebuild. He can do that again. And he will do that again.
Yeah, and Gerald is not able to remax quite as easily. He still has these few disruptors that are actually harassing on the other side of the map, but how much army does he have right now? How much... Like, he has a lot of Stalkers still, but there are so many roaches now.
Yeah, and here we go. Stalkers are getting on top of some of these roaches. Sorry, the roaches are getting on top of some of these Stalkers. Banelings are rolling on in as well. The base is under threat. The boys have to be pulled away. Colossus arrives, but the Nexus is going to go down.
One of the... Maybe one Nova connected with those roaches, but the disruptors will be going down for it, and the Stalkers are also starting to melt.
They are melting. We do see the Banelings head towards that mineral line here at the third base. They want to connect here with those probes. They're getting in.
Yeah, they're getting through the SimCity, and the entire mineral line will be going down. 24 probes dead.
Yeah, that makes it worth it here for Elazer. He takes down that 4th base as well. And Elazer, he backs off, and instantly he's remaxed again. Like, his macro is insane behind this.
I mean, look at the bases he has. He has so many bases. The entire half of the map is practically his. He has so many workers as well, so his economy is looking perfectly fine. Meanwhile, Gerald doesn't have a lot going on for him.
Yeah, he can barely max out. He can barely rebuild what he's been losing. Meanwhile, another Nexus is being targeted down by Elazer. Gerald is knocked down to 2 mining bases.
Yeah, these Colossi are still quite annoying and a bit difficult to deal with by the roaches, but the Lynx do get into the base and even more probes are falling down.
Yeah, we do have a GT counterattack, and hey, we do see Gerald who's going to be able to get a hatchery, which is nice and all, but he's still just losing so much more back at home. Elazer, he's going to turn back around with everything he has here. 3 disruptors, oh my god, on the way. Manual detonation on those Banelings does take out the DTs.
That was quite an explosive way to take down those DTs, together with the tower with them.
Yeah. I mean, he was able to deal with it in the end. Meanwhile, we do see the main army of Gerald pushing out. Again, he is all in at this point. He has to end the game one way or another. Oh, the Prism goes down. Good connection from the Disruptor, but the Disruptor will fall as well, and now Elazer can focus on the main fight.
Yeah, and this is all that Gerald has right now. He's working on more disruptors behind it, but he's only on 2 bases, and only one of those is really mining. I mean, he has half on each, I guess.
Yeah, he's got 4 patches in the main, 5 patches here at the natural, so not really too much of an economy to speak of. And the longer this goes on, the better it is for Elazer. He's remaxed once again. He's looking for another fight. Gerald has to push forward. He needs a godlike Purification Novas if he wants to take this game.
That he does, but I'm not sure if he will be able to get them, as Elazer is just continuing to rally small bits of units to the other side of the map. Even more probes are falling down. There is almost nothing to come back to for Gerald.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Gerald is going to take down a base, which is nice, but we see a massive counterattack instead. We'll see if Gerald recalls. He will recall a couple of Stalkers back home. The rest of his army is going to be committed here to the main fight. The base are rolling in!
Yeah, they're rolling straight in. Then actually, the Stalkers blink away. The Disruptors will be falling.
Oh my god, the Disruptors, they do go down to those Banelings. Only 2 Disruptors do survive. Can we get them? Can we get them?
The Roaches were on a mission. They didn't care about the Stalkers. They just wanted the Disruptors, but one of them does survive and will be able to recharge.
Yeah, at the same time, the Ling run by has gotten out of hand. The wall has been broken. The Lings are busting into the main base. At the same time, Geralt going for his own, basically, base trade, but he's not going to get any more bases.
Yeah, the Disruptors have fallen. The Colossi as well. And Elazer will take game number 1.
Well played. Was a rough start for Geralt. Did go for the DT opener, but it wasn't just that. If you remember, he had a really delayed third, and then he was trying to go charge, and then he went back to the third. It got cancelled like 2 more times, and he never got charged.
Yeah,
it did feel really indecisive from Geralt.
Yeah, like it felt like basically like things were not going according to plan, so he had to change the plan, and then the plan didn't really work because he had to change it again. It just was getting more and more chaotic, and in the end it just didn't work out for him.
Yeah, it all just kind of fell apart. So yeah, that game 1 doesn't bode well. Hopefully Geralt can regain his composure. Hopefully he can just settle on down, settle his nerves as well. I know it's a little bit of a different environment playing on stage and playing in front of a crowd of people and at an offline event, and you're not at home and you don't have your mustache. It's rough,
especially the mustache.
Especially his lip is cold, Bob. It's cold. But it's gonna get even colder here on altitude. But hopefully he can again just settle on down here, play out his game, because we have seen better performances from Geralt in the past. I want to believe he can bring that to the table here against Elazer.
Yeah, I believe so as well, and we'll see if he can do that right now, as we already are on altitude, as you said, a bit of a cold map, and we are looking at our Red Protoss player, representing Psystorm Gaming and Poland. It is Gerald. Oh, button.
Where's that?
There you go. I keep forgetting about the button.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Polish Zerg player. Ooh, going for a 15 hatch here on altitude, representing Team Liquid. It is Elazer.
Are you saying?
Also, my apologies. Go on.
No, are you saying that Elazer has joined the school of the 15 hatch?
Kind of. I don't know if you noticed, that actually wasn't a 15 hatch. That was a 14 hatchery instead. So he's going for a 14 hatch into a 15 pool. So a very interesting hybrid solution here. The reason why I say that is because a lot of the Koreans have been going for 14 hatcheries. A lot of the foreigners have been going for 15 hatcheries into a 15 pool. So this is like a little bit of both here.
Okay, I see. And what did you want to mention before?
What?
You wanted to mention... Oh, no. Was it just about the 14 hatch?
Maybe. I don't know.
Nice.
I don't know what you're talking about. All right. I want to mention a massive shout out to Dave Testa in the chat. Thank you so much for resubscribing for 11... almost an entire year of support. Thank you so much to Dave Testa. Not just Dave, but there was someone else in the chat earlier as well. I haven't been able to keep up with the notifications, but I believe we had some bits donated earlier in the broadcast. So thank you so much. Oh, Tater Tutor gifted a sub to Corlings in the chat. Thank you.
That as well. So shoutouts to you guys. Thank you for all the subs. Thank you for the quacks. And hope you stick around.
And it was C Grail. C Grail gifted 100 bits earlier. 100 bits during Elazer versus Spirit. So thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate the support.
we were talking about calming nerves, and now I'm curious. Chat. Because, okay, light too, but chat. Are you more stressed out if you have to perform in front of a crowd you don't know? Or are you more stressed out if you have to perform like in front of family?
Oh, the pressure.
Yeah, no, I'm curious because different people have different reactions to it. What about you, like?
That's a good question. I don't think I've ever had to perform in front of family. Yeah, I don't think I've ever been put in that situation.
I was because like I would always do something like musically related. And I remember for me, it's actually more stressful to perform in front of people I know rather than like just a random crowd of people.
I would imagine so. I would imagine like if I was streaming and then I had like some family members show up in the chat, I'd be like, oh, I have to like to do well, you know, to show them, like to show off and stuff like that. So
like
I'm sure it's...
I don't even like analyze it, but just it was always more stressful to me if I knew the audience.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely understandable. But we'll see how this does go out here. So Gerald goes for a Stargate opener, but if you noticed, he's going for something very different. He went for a Void Ray first here.
Oh, interesting. I haven't seen that one for a while. It does happen every now and then when the Protoss players do want to deny that Overlord, and so does Gerald.
Oh. And we see why. So Gerald, he's going to be denying the Overlord. He's going to be going for his third base, yes, but he's going for a very fast Twilight Council behind this. This is looking like a Glaive Adept follow-up.
I mean, we did see Gerald going for Glaives today. It was in PvP though, but he did choose that for one of the games, and we'll see how that goes. What do you think about Glaives on a map like Altitude?
Yeah, it's going to be really unexpected, but it has worked before. Fun fact, I'll always remember, and there it is, Glaives is on the way. I remember casting, it was in WTL, it was Chim versus Firefly, and Firefly whipped out this build, and this is a very dangerous build. For those wondering, this is designed to look like a Blinkstalker opener. This is designed to look like a hero build, which is why we have the third base. The Glaive Adepts is very unexpected, very hidden. Elazer is playing this out very safe though. He already has a Roach Warren on the way. Typically, you wouldn't get your Roach Warren until the 5-minute mark. We can see by now the 5-minute mark, it's almost already done. So Elazer being very safe, and hopefully he doesn't drone up too much. Otherwise, the Glaive Adepts can get out of control.
Yeah, I mean, it will be a while before the Glaive Adepts are on his side of the map, so hopefully he should be able to react in time. But I just find it funny when you said that third base is just like looking like a hero build. When I remember way in the past, Hero would regularly go for fake third bases and just never put any probes on them at all. And that was just his thing.
Yeah, there you go. Meanwhile, a solid Link Scout here from Elazer. We can see Gerald, he was trying to hide those Adepts, but no, they were spotted by that Ling. Elazer knows what's going on. We see Roaches immediately in production. Elazer being really greedy. He delayed Link Speed for a long time as well, but it is on the way. So Elazer, he is making sure he's able to muster up an army. The Adepts are on the way, but they have been spotted.
Yeah, they have been spotted, but as you said, the Roaches are on the way and the Queens are on the front as well, so they will be the first line of defense waiting for the Roaches to pop out. But oh, actually the third base is unprotected from this Oracle though. Yeah,
no spore. You can see Elazer, because of his greed at when it comes to not making any spores, he's being punished for it. Adepts, they are committing to the shade. We have a couple of Adepts going into the main base. We have more Adepts here at the third, but the drones aren't here anymore.
Yeah, that was a weird choice by Gerald, I will have to say, because he did put an Oracle on the third base, so he already chased off the drones from here, but he's still committed to the trade. But I guess it works out in the end.
It kind of works out, but the Lings are here to support, and it looks like a lot of these Adepts are going to be going down. We got 6 drones, which is nice, but we needed more damage for this, as Gerald, he throws out a Dark Shrine.
Of course he does. Yeah, we lost 9 Adepts in this attack. It's not ideal.
Yeah, like the big problem here with losing those Adepts, as, oh, it looks like the Oracle is going to find some more damage. Actually, 4 more drones going down. The Oracle, on its own, doing more than the Adepts, actually.
Yeah, seriously. It has done more than the Adepts.
Oh my god, did quite a lot in the end. So Gerald, he's definitely doing some counter damage, but look at the drone count. Look at the saturation right now of Elazer. He's up to almost 80 drones already. Like his economy is about to boom once he can get his 4th base up and running.
Yeah, and the Oracle is still getting more kills. The Spore is there, but it's actually... Oh my god, the Oracle is still alive.
Oh,
One health.
1 HP, the Oracle barely does survive. I love the addition of these DTs just because, again, Elazer, he typically does avoid these spores, but the spores are now in position and we're getting ready for a counterattack. Again, because of this build, by the way, of Gerald, it means Blink is late. It means the Forge upgrades are really late as well. So that's why these adepts had to do more damage to make up for the delay everywhere else instead. So we'll see if Geralt can hold on against the Roach counterattack.
Yeah, actually it looks like the Roach counterattack is trying to hunt for the army, maybe going back to the base. But actually the Roaches are being sniped on the way.
Yeah, really nice catch here from Geralt. He's shaving off a lot of these Roaches. They are getting picked off one after the other. Roach speed a little bit too late here, and Elazer, he's losing a lot of his units.
Yeah, at the same time the DTs were trying to get into this third base of Elazer, but they were noticed and they were denied, even the Archon as well. But now Geralt is on the offensive.
Yeah, he is on the offensive. Blink is now done for Geralt. He's denying a lot of creep here on the left-hand side. Elazer's up to 90 drones, or now 88 workers here. It's insane how many drones he has been able to get away with, and now he can focus on producing nothing but army on that Lingbane Road Ravager. Now he does have speed, so now he has a much more maneuverable army.
Yeah, ooh, the Adepts actually shading into this base, getting a few more kills maybe, but actually not able to take down any of the drones.
Yeah, it doesn't manage to get too much done. Meanwhile, the Stalkers, they're going to find a base here. Can we recall in time? That's a kill, not a cancel. And we recall just in time, but just only one Stalker goes down.
Yeah, 1 or 2 Stalkers did go down, but it was still a really nice snipe from Gerald, taking down that base and without a cancel as well. So nice bit of damage there, but now he has to make sure he doesn't die to these Link counterattacks.
I mean, there are plenty of Stalkers in position. We just see really good positioning as well to shave off a lot of these things at the same time. Another big counterattack on the right-hand side. It is going to be spotted by this Void Ray. Gerald did just recall, so it's going to take him a while to really respond in time. He does have a warp in back at home. The Lings shouldn't get too much done.
Yeah, they're just running around the base. Maybe they can get at least some information about the army of Gerald, but they won't be doing any damage for the time being. And once again, Gerald is counterattacking.
Yeah, meanwhile, Elazer still waiting for his upgrades to kick in. He already has a Hive on the way, a Baneling Nest for Baneling Speed. Elazer is maxed out, even has a massive bank just because his economy is insane. He's just got so much money to work with.
Yeah, and look at all this swarm of Links just going after Geralt. I mean, he does have the army to defend them for the time being, but this is a lot of Zerglings, and once again, Elazer goes for those Banelings.
Yeah, we saw this in Elazer versus Cristiano, if you remember, where Elazer, because of his mass droning, he was able to just max out on almost pure Baneling and just go for all these massive counterattacks on the left, on the right-hand side. Meanwhile, Geralt, I appreciate that he's not resting on his laurels. He is going into Sky Toss. I believe the Fleet Beacon in the main base, or here at the Natural even, has completed.
Yeah, the Fleet Beacon has completed. At the same time, Geralt is not letting go of the pressure. The Zealots are once again in the west base of Elazer. They will not take down this hatchery, but they did get it quite low. At the same time, the main army is still watching over the army of Elazer, and he cannot move out.
Yeah, what's important is that unlike Cristiano, Geralt has map control. Because he has map control, Elazer, he can't really be active with those Banelings. He can't really threaten the bases of the Protoss player. Instead, he is the one being threatened as we have a DT run by. This hatchery is going to go down.
Yeah, it was vulnerable before because of the Zealots, and now it will be sniped by the DTs. At the same time, there are still stasis wards here, so Elazer has to be careful how he moves. But he is trying to take down one of the bases of Geralt, though.
Yeah, the base on the left-hand side is going to be going down. At the same time, the main fight is upon us. Baneling Speed finally does kick in. A lot of Banelings did go down to that first Archon, but these Stalkers don't really have too much support for themselves. They're going to be chased down.
Yeah, a lot of the Zealots did go down. At the same time, the DTs are sniping, and one more base from Elazer. While Geralt lost his as well, like, the DTs are still not stopped.
Yeah, the DTs, they take down 2 hatcheries for the one of Geralt, but the main army's pushing out across the map. We have an overcharge. We have a shield battery. We have DT's defensive back at home as well. It looks like Elazer should hold on, but the middle line!
Yeah, the Banelings do end up rolling into the base. Geralt was too busy defending the front, and he kind of forgot about his third base, and the entire mineral line is going down.
There was just too much going on. There was just chaos all over the map. The mineral line falling here is massive. Gerald's not too far behind in the worker count, though. That just goes to show how oversaturated he was. His economy is still comparable to that of Elazer's.
Yeah, and actually both players are doing fairly well, but we'll see for how long, because as you said, Gerald is switching into that Skytos. We have that mothership, but actually we have more gateways. There are no more stargates. We have
Yeah,
Storm.
so the fleet beacon, it looks like the fleet beacon was only for the mothership for the -400, -400. It is a good supportive unit, to be fair, but I would appreciate more Stargates, and I would appreciate Skytos production. I think that's just the better route to take. We'll see if Gerald can keep up here and go toe-to-toe with the ground army of Elazer, with the ground Protoss army instead.
Yeah, I mean the storms can definitely help with the link bane if they are executed at the right time, but it's also, I feel like, betting a lot on a single card.
Yeah, it's a really risky move to go for, but at the same time, he could maybe feel like he doesn't have the time to get into Skytos. It does take a long time to really get going, but here we go. The Banelings are rolling on in. Good storms are going to connect on some of these Banelings. There are 2 High Templar left, 2 storms left.
Yeah, but Gerald has to be really careful about protecting them, as more Banelings are rolling in, and they will be stormed as well, but there's still more.
Yeah, the Banelings are all going to be going down. We have one more storm on the Roaches and Ravagers at the same time. A Zealot counterattack is taking down a Mineral Line, taking down a base. Elazer is hurting back at home, and he didn't trade well at all here.
Yeah, at the same time though, we have to keep in mind that only 1 High Templar is left. A lot of them did die in this attack, so there are no more storms coming. If Elazer does remake this Linkbane army, it will be a bit of a problem.
Yeah, Lazer's going for a big counterattack instead. We do have a recall available. Gerald, is he going to turn around, or is he going to keep on pushing? That is the question. Linkbane rolling on in, but no, we are able to warp in time. The probes, can they survive? Up.
A lot of them will be falling down as they are trying to hack the assimilator here, and 15 probes will go down, but at the same time the mothership is now here.
Mothership has arrived. The slow zone as well on the Linkbane. It cannot connect. It will not connect. The combo with the storm as well takes everything down.
That was actually really smart from Gerald. We rarely see these kinds of combos anymore, and it was really nicely done, and he will take the game.
GG, well played. We have a series. Gerald ties it up 1-1 on altitude.
Yeah, very nicely done from Gerald. I actually didn't have that much faith in it, but it worked out beautifully.
Yeah, exactly. Geralt, we saw that he was a lot more proactive on altitude as opposed to some of the other Protoss players we casted earlier. And he was keeping up here with the aggression of Elazer, going for these massive counterattacks with Zealots, with DTs as well. And we saw that as he went for a ground-based composition, he was able to keep up with the run-bys as well. I think there was one moment, if you remember, when one mineral line went down for Geralt. There was 20 probes or something like that. But outside of that, he was keeping up with the Baneling run-bys.
Yeah, for the most part, he was keeping up with Elazer. And as I said, I had some doubts with this storm, but it actually worked out, and he was able to deal with all of these Banelings.
Yeah, and hey, you know, maybe for once, the mothership comes out and is actually pretty impactful. Like it
didn't die.
Didn't go down. Yeah. Did not die. It was actually pretty powerful tool there towards the end. So Geralt fighting back here. We have a series.
Yeah, we do have a series, and as we are loading into our next map, a quick shout out to Air Orange, who has subscribed for 20 months now.
There you go. Thank you so much. Shout out to Air Orange in the chat. Gracias. Thank you so much. And just so people know, just so people are aware, it should be on the in-game overlays. But this is a best of 5, not a best of 3.
Yes, this is the lower bracket finals, and it is a best of 5. And now we are in game 3, as we are looking at our red Protoss player representing Psystorm Gaming and Poland. It is Gerald.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Polish Zerg player representing Team Liquid. It is Elazer.
As now, Kuro in panic checks all the overlays. God, I can't see anyway. Oh no.
It's all good. It's all good.
Panic.
Seeing the chats. Why are you commentating here instead of with Indian Polish? Oh, I wonder why.
I mean, I assumed that they were talking about me because I am Polish.
True, true. You are from the land of Polski.
But yeah, this is my team. This is both Light and me have co-founded the CranKy Ducklings. So this is the place where I'm casting whenever I am casting, which is usually rare, although more and more common nowadays actually.
Yeah, it's mainly like in WTL, maybe. In WTL, you cast every now and then. Whenever
Kung
you're
Fu
available, whenever you're available. Yeah, maybe a Kung Fu Cup. What was I gonna say? Have you ever casted in Polish before? Has it happened?
I have tried once, I think when Steel Mold made me.
Ah.
I think that was the only time. I'm not sure. Because I haven't really been on like Polish streams to have an opportunity to cast. I did cast in Spanish a few times. I mean,
kind
cast.
Intro. You introed in Spanish.
There was one time when I quote unquote casted in Spanish. It was on the Stan stream.
True.
It was Dastan and Vortex, and they would be like talking, and every 10 minutes they would ask me for something, and I didn't know what to respond. That's how it went.
I remember I casted in Spanish as well with Vortex. With Vortex, and I think with Dastan as well. I think it was for one of his God, what was it called? It was like was it Arena? Arena de
Yeah,
Dastan,
I think it was
Dastan's
Arena. Yeah, I think it was Arena.
Yeah.
Where his viewers played and he was commentating.
Yeah, it was a parody of Romsey because Romsey started that. Long time ago. Like, I almost forgot.
And fun fact, Dastan was actually the person who taught me how to intro in Spanish. I remember he would actually teach me.
Yeah, exactly. En la esquina izquierda.
Yeah, that's how I knew the word esquina. I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Esquina, inferior, and so on. Like that's all Dastan.
Superior.
That's all Dastan.
Yeah, true. There you go.
Where are you?
As things are popping off, we do. True. Dastan se la come, papi, se la come. We do see 2.F shading into the main base. Quite a lot of links have been produced here for Elazer, but they should be able to keep up here with the aggression of these two units. 2.F trying to find a way into the main base, but alas, so far they haven't done too much.
Yeah, they were able to see the bases of Elazer at the very least, but they did not do any damage. But what about these oracles, though?
Yeah, we do have a spore in the way in the natural. No spore in the main base. The Oracle is going to rock up, but I believe Queens are in position, so the first Oracle shouldn't be able to do too much damage, but we have a second Oracle behind this. Meanwhile, Lings are laying siege upon this third base. When it comes to the opener, Gerald did go for a Stargate opener into a third base. This time, this is very standard here, going for the hero style of triple Oracle into a third. I say that, he actually only goes for 2 Oracles.
Okay. And as we saw, that those 2 oracles are actually hanging out at home because they were not able to get any damage on the other side of the map, and these Ling Rangbais are definitely danger for the side of Gerald, so he decided to keep those at home.
Yeah, so what's going on right now? So Geralt, he's actually delaying his Twilight Council on his Forge, so he's not transitioning into +1 on Blink Stalkers. He throws down 2 more gateways instead, which is really suspect. It looks like he may be looking to warp in an additional round of Adepts to be aggressive. We'll see, as he does eventually throw down that Twilight Council, but again, it has been delayed.
So, my question is, are we gonna see Darkshine after it?
I'm curious. I'm really curious if this is going to be for something like Archon's Lings. They come in for harassment, or they get a kill on the shield battery. Is this going to be Glaives again? We do see the army pushing out, a really haphazard army. There's no way to reinforce. There's no prism. There's no pylon out of the map either. And okay, he's going into Blink.
Blink? Okay, why not? At the same time, there's a bit of a harassment from Elazer once again. The Links are in the third base, but the drones are safe behind the Adept for the time being, but now they will start to fall.
Yeah, they focus on the pylon. Pylon is going to go down. This is getting out of control. This is becoming too much. Again, there's a reason why you go for 3 Oracles to be able to defend back at home, and this is getting out of control. At the same time, Geralt, he even recalls back.
Yeah, he actually decides to recall, but 4 pros did already go down, and this base has been disrupted as well, so nice bit of damage from Elazer, and he also denied that attack from Gerald.
Yeah, exactly. This is just a really weird build out of Gerald. He's throwing down more gateways. This could be for a 3-base all-in. The reason why I say that is because we don't have a forge, which means we don't have upgrades, which means like as the game goes on longer, we're falling a little bit behind. So I'm curious how Gerald is going to take this out. Meanwhile, Adepts, they do get surrounded on the right-hand side.
Yeah, it looks like we have Zerglings from both sides of the map, and Elazer is trying to see if he can get any damage done, but it looks like for the time being Gerald will hold him up, and Elazer just focuses on his build, focuses on the economy, and just moving forward.
Yeah, and now the question becomes, how many gateways do we have to work with? We have 4 gateways in the natural, we have 2 in the main, so 6, and then we have another 2 here, so 8 gates in total. He should be setting up a pylon out on the map. Again, I'm really curious to see if Geralt is looking to be hyper-aggressive with this, as Lings, they just continue to harass him time and time again.
Yeah, they're not actually doing like, you know, any like super significant damage, but they are just keeping Geralt at home. They're keeping his attention, and he's not able to move out, because every time he does, this is a risk of having Lings in your base.
I mean, this is brutal. This is a brutal supply block for Geralt as well after losing that pylon, so he's just been like harassed like time and time again, and the damage has been adding up, definitely. Elazer, he's now free to drone, he's taking a 4th and 5th base, he's already working on a hive as well, here sub 8 minutes. So yeah, Elazer, he's had a lot of freedom to himself here to do whatever he wants as the link counterattacks don't stop, and yeah, this 4th is not going to get up and running.
Okay, but what is the hive for? Vipers?
I imagine for fast adrenal glands. I just imagine just fast adrenal
Okay.
glands just to support these lings. Speaking of lings, they are able to once again just harass this 3rd base. Good. Vipers would be a really good addition here. I don't think we need them right now. There's nothing for the Vipers to do.
Yeah, I was like, what else do you get hive for? But I guess adrenal makes sense.
Yeah, as the lings are finding even more damage here, they catch 3 stalkers.
Very nicely done, and they continue moving forward. This base is once again in danger. It doesn't have a lot of health yet. At the same time, there is a second attack on the other side.
Yeah, just mass ling. It's just mass ling all around here for Elazer. It's just so oppressive. And Gerald just hasn't been able to gain any momentum whatsoever. The other thing you can do with this, there it is, Ultra Cavern. Adrenal glands of course for cracklings, but we're going straight ling into Ultra.
Dark, is this you? For a while, Dark loved going ultras.
Yeah, I mean, this is a build that Dark does as well. Dark usually does this in ZvP on Ancient Cistern, on a larger map where you have a little bit more freedom. But going mass ling like this, you typically delay your drone production, and it took a while for Elazer to get up to 80 workers. He's still not even there yet, just because we're spending so much larva on these lings. But as long as you're able to trade well, as long as you're able to find some good trades, then the Protoss player is just stuck at home.
As we can see right here, as Gerald is indeed stuck at home, his bases are being constantly denied, and even if they're not, like his army is just pinned here, like he cannot move, he's just stuck here. And at the same time, the attacks from Zerglings just don't stop.
Yeah, they just do not stop. And again, they're designed to give Elazer the freedom to be able to take up Storm. Good Storm here on those lings. But Elazer doesn't really care. He's happy to trade out some of these lings because we have Ultras in production. Ultra upgrades are on the way as well. And by the time the Ultras hit the fields, like, there's nothing for them. As in, there are no Immortals. We're not ready for Ultras.
I mean, in general, like, Gerald does not have a lot of army in the first place. Like, look at his army right now. He has a few Stalkers, a few Zealots, an Archon. But there's actually not a lot on the ground at all.
Yeah, exactly. Geralt, he's just been having a really hard time keeping up with this massling style, especially considering that Geralt wanted to be aggressive early on, so like his own playstyle was just clashing here with what Elazer was bringing to the table. He just really wasn't expecting or ready for this at all, and the killing move may just be these Ultras as they are finally arriving. We have to wait a little bit longer. Kindness plating is still not done for Elazer, so I'm sure he wants to wait for the upgrade before he really does push it.
What do you think about Elazer getting the speed first?
It's odd. It's interesting. I do think kindness plating has a little bit more value, but yeah.
I mean, in a Link army, I guess he wanted the Ultras to keep up with the Zerglings.
I guess so, and here we go. They close the distance. We're getting on top of the army. But, a couple of storms will connect, not too bad. But again, there's no answer to the Ultras, but they don't have kindness plating.
Yeah, they don't have Guardian's plating, so they fall quite easy to these Stalkers, but they still will do quite a lot of damage, and those Zerglings will be out of the stasis soon.
Yeah, the Zerglings do come out of stasis. As you mentioned, without kind of splitting, every single Ultra is going to die. They can be surprisingly squishy in this state. But we got the Mineral Line at least, but this was not an efficient trade for Elazer.
Yeah, not quite the trade that he was hoping for, and Gerald was also able to save quite a few units on his side, so his army will be that much stronger in the next attack. But now we do have the Chitinous, but where are the Ultras?
Yeah, the kindness finishes after all the ultras die. It's great. But we're replacing some of those ultras. We got a Viper as well. Elazer doesn't have a gas bank just because ultras are really expensive gas-wise. But I guess we don't care. We just remax on Ling Bane.
Yeah, the Lingbane is just gonna roll into Gerald's base as the main army of Stalkers is trying to defend. At the same time, the probes will fall down. 18 already dead, and there will be more coming.
Yeah, exactly. The mineral line goes down. We can focus down the hatchery itself. The ultras have now arrived, and this time they are so much more tanky. They can just force the army back. Bailings, they even roll towards that third base as well, and Gerald taps out. GG gets called.
Yeah, GG is caught, and Elazer will be taking the game and will be in 2-1 lead.
Good. GG, well played. A really solid performance there out of Elazer. Really cool to see him vary things up, despite the fact that we've been seeing a lot of like greedy play from Elazer. We saw it against Cristiano. We saw it in game 1 and game 2 against Gerald. Here, just showing a different side to him, much more aggressive side.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like just non-stop aggression from Elazer, just more links and like more link bait just being queued to the other side of the map. And I mean, he was able to overpower Gerald there.
Yeah. Really was. And again, like Geralt, he was going for his own kind of aggressive play style. He had delayed upgrades, delayed tech, and specifically against this mass link style, he struggled as a result. He was being punished for it time and time again. I mean, we saw how much of a hard time Geralt had even taking his third base. Lings were just constantly harassing, constantly counterattacking, constantly just killing a pylon here and there, shield batteries, probes as well. It was yeah, it was.
At first, it wasn't a lot of damage done by those links, but just the fact that they were there was already problematic enough because you have to constantly focus on them running around.
Yeah, exactly. Whew. But now we're going to be getting into our next game. We'll see if our Protoss player can recover. We'll see if we can force an ace match. Right now, we are 2-1 in favor of our Zerg. If Elazer takes one more win here, he advances on to the Grand Finals.
And in the Grand Finals, we have Spirit waiting for the winner of this series, so definitely quite a hype match as well.
Oh yeah. It's going to be a very hype match. Personally, I hope we go the distance. Personally, I hope we go all the way to Game 5, but we'll see.
We will see indeed, but for now, what we see is our map, and it is Dragon Scales. And currently, we have our red Protoss player in front of us, and it is representing Psystorm and Poland. It is Gerald.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Dragon Scales, we have as opponent, we have the blue Zerg player representing Team Liquid, leading the series 2-1, one game away from advancing on to the Grand Finals. It is Elazer.
TBD in the chat saying that Gerald looks really young without his mustache. Do you think that's the reason? Do you think somebody told him he looks old and he just gave up?
Yeah, didn't we get an answer for why he shaved?
We did.
Didn't he? Wasn't, yeah. It was just, you know, becoming
the original answer was that it was because when he was wearing a mask, like a face mask, it was bothering him. But then he kept shaving it, and he's not wearing a mask.
Exactly. Like it never. I'm telling you, he can't grow it back anymore. It's
a sad tale.
It's
really.
over. It's the end of an era. The end of a moment here where Geralt was reigning supreme. You know, back then the mustache allowed him to. I mean, he beat Cyril. Cyril.
Yeah. Clearly, it was the mustache.
But Hopefully he can do it without the mustache. As we see Gerald just being a little bit annoying here, even tasing away at the drones. Shouldn't get a kill here. There we go. Elazer able to react.
Maybe. Wants to.
Wants to, but the Lings are on the way, so the probe is going to get the hell out of there. Did force the unnatural natural out of Elazer. This time there was no like 14 hatch. There was no 15 hatch either. Just saying that open.
Just the standard. I feel like with the 15 hatch being more and more popular, I actually see much more rare like the unnatural naturals at the third bases, which is an interesting shift in the meta. But yeah, once again we see it here for Elazer.
There we go. Meanwhile, Twilight Council once again from Gerald, so more of an aggressive opener. We've seen him go DTs before, and if he does stay in gas, it should be for a very aggressive opener like DTs. If he pulls out, then it should be Glaive Adepts, but for the time being, he's staying in.
He's staying in. We'll see how that goes for him, as we have one of these adepts going in and trying to get some damage, but only some scouting information there, as the queen is waiting for it.
Yeah, and this should be for the Dark Shrine as well. Overlord is diving in, so Elazer is going to get eyes on this. The Dark Shrine is thrown down. Interesting, it's thrown down in the natural instead of the main, which means he will be able to avoid that Overlord for the time being, but there's no Stalker. There's only an Adept, so eventually Elazer, if he commits here with the Overlord, he should come across this.
If he commits. That's a big if, and it looks like the Adepts once again are getting into the base of Elazer, and they will be able to snipe a few drones this time.
Yeah, really nicely done. 2 Adepts do one-shot workers. Good positioning here behind the middle line as well. 5, we're going to get 6 drones. Oh, almost 6 as we barely do morph in that Spore.
Yeah, good dodge there from Elazer, but he did lose the 5 drones, as you said, and he is scouting around the base of Gerald, but he actually still does not see the natural.
Yeah, he should throw down Spores. So even though he didn't see the Dark Shrine, he saw the Twilight Council, and more importantly, he saw that it wasn't researching. So if there's no researching, then it has to be DTs. As I say that though, still no Spores are thrown down, so Elazer is being really greedy. Hopefully he throws down those Spores soon. Hopefully Geralt is active. The Prism stays at home.
Yeah.
The Dark Shrine is done. And yeah, we're warping the DTs defensively instead.
I found it really funny that the War Priest was actually throwing the probe around to make sure that the third base does go down. And it looks like... Yeah. I think Geralt thinks that he got scouted because he's going straight for an Archon.
Yeah, these Spores are delayed. These Spores are late. If he was aggressive with these DTs, I do think he could have dealt some damage. I do think that he could have made some magic happen. But instead, he kind of psychs himself out. He's defensive with him instead. And yeah, he's going to go for an Archon drop as a different resort.
Yeah, I guess that is what they say, that StarCraft is the game of incomplete information. And Geralt didn't have that information, that Elazer actually was not ready for this attack. He thought that he already seen it, so he decided to stay at home, and in effect he won't be able to get nearly as much damage.
Yeah, at the same time we do have a massive Ling counterattack. Gonna be applying pressure to the third base. We do have one Archon back at home to defend, so Geralt should be able to hold on to that third base. Oh, but the Lings are busting into the natural. This Adept is gonna be going down. We do manage to wall off behind this.
We were also supplied off a little bit, but it's okay.
It's fine.
Don't worry about it.
As we are going into a massive gateway explosion, charge is on the way, Immortal production is commencing. We're going to be going for a Charge Lot Archon Immortal composition.
Sure, why not? I was a little bit worried about that single pylon holding all of these gateways, but I guess Elazer should not drop into his main base?
Yeah. I guess he won't quite be able to do much about the main base. Back at home, Elazer, he's happily droning. He's getting up to 3 base saturation, 61 drones, not too bad. He's going to be working towards around 70 workers here as he's getting everything up and running. Ling Roach Ravager is the composition of choice here from Elazer. No Bane Nest.
Chat, send your energy. My voice has started to die. It's going well. It was going so well.
As here we go, the 8 gates are done, by the way. The main army of Gerald is going to be pushing out. We haven't warped in Zealots yet to reinforce. At the same time, we do see a massive link counterattack trying to force a warp in back at home instead. Here we go. We do have the Zealots being warped into the main base. Elazer, he does have roaches in the main to defend, but the Immortals are pushing in on the right-hand side as well. This is going to be a scary moment, but it looks like Gerald just doesn't have enough.
Yeah, that he does not. See, there are a lot of queens still on the ground, and actually he will be pushed back, and Elazer will stand his ground.
Yeah, it does feel like Gerald, he did miss out on some warp-ins. Unfortunately, he just wasn't able to really assert himself, and it feels like he's missed his timing. It feels like it was pretty crisp here with these Immortals and Archons with this push, but he wasn't able to bring it all together here. He is being forced back, and now Elazer is getting a bit out of control. So do see the Road Ravager just maintaining control of the map. Gerald trying to saturate his third base. He's trying to get into Disruptors. There's a lot of power, and there's a lot of potential in Disruptors. He's getting into a second Rover for double Disruptor production, which is good, but the problem right now is that Gerald, he just doesn't have a lot of buffer for his army. He's got Archons, he's got Immortals, he's got Disruptors, but where are the Gateway units? Where are the Zealots? Where are the Stalkers? How do we really protect this army? And here we go. The first Nova goes off. Is going to zone away Elazer 4 now because he is trying to distract his opponent. We have a Roach army on the right-hand side. We have a Roach Ravager army on the left. Massive Nova does go off on Elazer's army. Ay, ay, ay. And that is the beginning here. Can we land another, though? Because we still have a lot of roaches where that came from. Elazer still has a lot that he is working with. He's trying to pull apart his opponent. Overcharge is about to run out. But Elazer, he needs some time here to remax, to rebuild those roaches. As he does back off, he's giving Gerald a lot of breathing room. We see a fourth base on the way. Disruptor production continuing as well. We have one Disruptor right now for Gerald, but again, we are building that count up once again. And we'll see if Gerald can hold on against the second wave. Elazer, he has remax. He's coming in once again. Initially, Gerald, he had a pretty good defense. He was able to land some good Novas, but can he do it again? As here we go, the fourth base is under siege. Reinforcements are coming on in, and yeah, the fourth base, it's going to be cancelled. There's no way to hold on to it. Meanwhile, on the right-hand side, once again, all the Novas will not connect either. Link's trying to get on top of the Disruptors. Trying to get on top of them, and alas, it is not going to be enough. Gerald, he holds on to 3 bases, but only 3 bases. He gets denied the fourth base time and time again. Oh god. That's a lot of Veilings on the way here for Elazer. Gerald does come across him to the base. They're not done! Massive Nova is going to be going off. Again, a good start here for Gerald. His opponent is remaxed already. Like, Elazer is not stopping. Veilings are rolling in from the right-hand side. We're getting into a full surround. Veilings, oh, they barely don't quite make it into the mineral line. This time they do. This time they do. The Veilings, they do crash on forward. Link's coming from behind, and it looks like Elazer has too much. It looks like Gerald, despite his best efforts, cannot hold on to this third base. The Nexus itself may just go down. It does get targeted, and now Gerald, he's down to 2 bases. He's down to only 2 next side. GG gets called, and Elazer will take the series 3-1, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. Oh. Okay, Kuro, you back?
So, I have the worst problem for a caster. This is the one. First I lost my voice, and then I tried to drink something and I got hiccups and they won't let go. It's awful.
Let's go. It's all good. It's all good. Well, at least you're going to have some time to recover. You're going to have some time to recover. So congratulations to Elazer as he does advance on to the grand finals. My condolences to Gerald. He did have a good performance here. He was able to at least make a series out of it. So very impressive stuff out of Gerald. But unfortunately, in a lot of these other games, I don't know, it felt like he was getting into his own head a little bit. I don't know if it's nerves or maybe a mental block against Elazer. Maybe Elazer is just a little bit intimidating just because, you know, he is arguably the best player in Poland right now, or at least the best Zerg player. So, yeah, we saw Gerald slip up a couple of times here and there, make certain mistakes that we usually don't see from him. Regardless, a really good performance overall, really good showing. Third place isn't too shabby. Not too shabby. So with that, we are getting ready for the grand finals. It's going to be a rematch. It's going to be a best of 7. A best of 7 between Elazer and Spirit. Earlier today, we casted a best of 5 between them, and it went all the way to the ace match. It was hype. It was intense. It was everything that we wanted out of a ZvT. It's a lot to live up to. It's going to be a lot to live up to. So, oh boy, we'll see if it can do so.
Right.
We're going to be going... We're going to...
Do we have a word on the show match?
We do. So we're going to be going on a short break. Before that, I did just get an update. It looks like there will not be a show match beforehand. Initially, the organizers were thinking about making a show match before the finals, just for some fun and just to give everyone some rest. But it looks like we're not going to be organizing that. So just going to be going straight for the finals right after this. Again, Elazer versus Spirit, the best Terran and the best Zerg player in all of Poland, are going to be facing off. Take this moment to get some food, get some rest, but make sure you're back in time. Make sure you're back in 10 minutes for the finale of the Chaos SC2 Circuit. See you soon.